Hello.
Hello.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stealthy Elf Productions. We are not going to be playing any Pathfinder 2nd Edition for you tonight. Instead, we're just going to talk about it. We're doing a little campaign diary, a little check-in, if you will, just seeing what we think of the arc so far, and just kind of, gauging on how things are going. So, we don't have Max with us tonight. He normally plays Edenor. Max, we miss you. But you will be seeing him back soon in his role as Edenor because, though we're not playing tonight, we will be playing tomorrow morning at 10 Central? 10 Central, 11 Eastern?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Before we jump in, let's just say hello to who we do have here today. Let's start with Hannah.
Hey, I'm Hannah. I'm Pimania Knackle in this campaign, and I'm excited to talk about what's going on. Nigel.
What's going on?
Hey, I'm Nigel. I played Lunazra Elwins, and I too am excited to figure out this mystery we're about to hopefully solve.
Mm-hmm.
Detectives Mip and Muna. On the case.
On the case.
On the case.
Hi.
Bonjour, everybody. My name is Ali. I usually play Lycus, but today I'm playing myself, like always. Actually, this hasn't changed. I'm doing the same thing as always.
Lycus is Ollie. Ollie is Lycus. Where the one starts and the other begins. It's hard to tell.
I'm slightly more responsible with my children.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's good.
Yeah, we'll have to see how responsible you are in this next session, right? Because just thinking about next session, we'll just jump right into it. Yoma's there now.
Yeah.
Yoma's here. Yoma's here.
I will say to the viewers real quick, if we reference any characters or events that you don't understand, let us know in chat and we'll clarify. We are talking about our campaign thus far, specifically this arc and the current encounter. So it's okay if you don't know what's going on. We'll catch you up to speed.
Yeah, and for us, this arc is Ironwood. Mm-hmm.
Wait, would it take too long, or would like a 30-second summary of entering Ironwood to where we are now?
I have an idea. You guys ever play that game where one person does like a word at a time? Except we'll do one sentence at a time.
One sentence at a time.
One sentence at a time. All right, everybody roll a d20.
Okay, roll initiative.
10,
Impromptu.
right in the middle.
Gamers going game.
Go.
Ooh, I got a 2.
I got a 3.
Oh my god, just roll the dice, Google.
Well, you don't have dice just ready?
How about
What kind of gamer
roll
are
the
you?
dice, Nigel?
14, not within
14,
reach.
All right.
Okay.
So it's Nigel, Ollie, David, Hannah.
Yep.
Okay, Nigel. One sentence of if we count the Ironwood arc as being when we arrived.
Yeah.
For the first session would be flirting with fire, which was the arrival session. So you go ahead, tell us about that one, and then Ollie will have you do the next one.
We started this arc with a major bang. I'm glad you're going next.
Thanks.
Explain why it's a bang.
With thunderous applaud, we entered the stage, ready to kill goblins and no, we don't know about that yet. And mages. I don't know.
You were trying to rhyme,
I was
weren't you?
wondering if you were trying to rhyme. Yeah, he's trying to
I was
rhyme.
trying to rhyme.
Oh, shit. Setting the bar
I fucked
high.
up.
All right,
There you
Hannah.
go.
No, it's you. No.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
it's you. It's you.
No, it's me. Okay. After that battle, our party went to town. They landed their airship high above ground.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You got me.
I'm so scared right now. Okay. The party came down from their ship on high and fuck. Okay, fuck the rhyming. I can't do it.
That was supposed to be a 30-second summary.
God damn it. It's too hard. Okay.
Go with what you know. I wasn't gonna rhyme anyways.
We
Go with
had
what you
we
know.
had an epic entrance off of the ship, and that was a really fun moment. There's some art on our socials. Go check that out. But yeah, we got into the Ironwood and did our epic entrance. The Ironwood proper.
Mhm.
Oh, it's me.
I guess yeah.
And we were immediately told about the case of the unmemorables.
Correct.
Poor blokes got kidnapped, so we had to jump to action because the local governance was lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with faction.
At this point, the party met Lensa, where they received information about the Unmemorables, and then they split. Luna and Pim, becoming detectives Muna and Mip, pursued the case of the Unmemorables.
It's Mip and
Meanwhile,
Muna.
Lycus... Mip and Muna, sorry. Meanwhile, Edenor and Lycus prepared to receive Lensa, who had an axe to grind against members of the conquering host, including Clink.
So,
Okay.
while Mip and Muna worked the case, Lycus and Edenor protected our home base.
Yeah,
You still rhyming?
yeah, she
I'm
is.
trying. I'm still trying.
Okay, sure.
Oh my
okay.
god, she's got
She
the,
just went,
the goods.
last round, she just said "fuck this rhyming thing," and then she just jumped back in.
I'm glad it comes back to me now at this one pivotal moment.
Yeah.
And Lycus and Edenor's great levels of intelligence, they figured, hey, we have this bomb. Let's give it to the kids.
Look at
That's
Al, he's
stupid.
like, yeah, whatever.
I think it went
I'll
well.
stand by it. I'll stand by it.
It's true.
Tell them what. Yeah, okay.
Tell him
Continue.
what happened next.
Yeah, so what happened next is that Mip and Muna got caught up in all sorts of trouble with vampires and stalkers, and Edenor and Lycus had to stop everything they were doing and have the kids do an incredibly dangerous task so that they could go save those two. Not revisionist history, just a different perspective.
So
Nice.
while Lycus, once Lycus and Edenor finally, because the kids had disappeared, they went with Serena to go check out the water drake. Once Lycus and Edenor finally caught up to Serena and the kids, you sent them back to the ship, right? And you commended them on a good job. Yoma revealing that he hid the weapon like a tree amongst the forest in the armory in your ship's battery. Unfortunately, you guys forgot that you had just told instructed Clink to transfer Kanari from the secure cell that she was in to the armory.
Why did we do that again?
Okay, I can explain. Okay, we're gonna stop real quick.
Pause.
Hannah,
Pause.
don't say
Let's
we.
break this
Don't say
down.
we, Hannah. This isn't a we situation.
Why did you do
So-
that
This
again?
is a them.
No, that was between me and Edenor because we saw that Lenza and Kanari shared a quick little
Yeah,
and with
that's
Kanari's
what I was talking about.
weird mental shit, we were like, okay, we can't keep her in the same spot because what if she's telling Kanari to like, hey, come save me, I have like important blah 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 blah. So we figured it would be safest to move them somewhere else. The only problem is we then gave David free reign as to where other things went, and then things went south. Okay,
Oh my god.
I think everything was a logical maneuver, and all.
You know, we didn't even discuss why didn't we just hold on to the bomb in our backpacks?
Hey.
Too dangerous? But maybe we should have.
No, I just thought of this too, so like it's on me as well. I don't know.
I mean,
Anyway.
Anyways,
all of Lycus's belongings are in his cargo pants. He now wears cargo shorts, actually.
Cargo shorts
so-
are the most
Oh.
practical.
Yeah,
Of
so he
all.
doesn't have enough room for him.
Okay. Hannah,
Okay.
what was happening with Luna and Mip at this time?
Okay, Mip and
And
Muna.
your stalker.
Li-
What's the stalker?
I almost said Lip and Muna. Okay. Pim and Luna, under the aliases Mip and Muna, ran around town trying to figure out what was going on with these unmemorables. We were on the case. Super talented detectives right here. I don't know if you knew, but we ended up chasing a lead to one Adrian something's tent, a carpenter. Audrey.
Adrian Brody.
Audrey Boehner.
We went to Adrian Brody's house. And,
Adrian Brody's house, yeah.
and we found out that this guy has a really big crush on Luna. Really big crush on Luna. And it got a little creepy. And yes, okay, I'll stop there.
It's me, right? It's important to remember. We didn't stipulate this from the start, but the unmemorables are several people who were kidnapped for around 2 or 3 days at a time, and they would come back to town without any memory of that time span, and they would end up being very radicalized against the current leadership, which would be Lenza in this case.
Yeah.
So our investigation was trying to find out, who is taking them, where they're going, why are they losing their memory, which led us to Adrian Brody. That's how I'm going to remember him, because he said it like that.
That's how it is now.
And
Toledo and Adrian.
While investigating Adrian, he decided to go a little rogue and say that to go on a little trip with Luna in the forest while pulling a blade or something like that?
He tried to poison you guys.
Right, he tried to poison us.
Yeah, and the two of you made your save, but Luzana did not.
Oh my god, we still don't know where Uzana is. Wait,
She did.
She's on the ship.
she's on the ship. Did we get Uzana?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh, I think we did. I think we yada yada'd it. We were like, okay, we find
David
Uzana.
can make up stuff. I can make up stuff too. She's on the ship.
So I think we should.
Noted. Luzana's on the ship.
I think we should talk about the political tension and why the tension in leadership is happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can take that. So it's a post-apocalyptic world, and what that means is that resources and everything are very, very scarce, and the remnants of humanity have all kind of grouped together into different communities. The Ironwood being one such community. Now, currently, the Ironwood is made up of primarily 2 factions. There are the locals, the Ironwoodians, and then there are the refugees from the city of Azafas, which was a big city nearby, the city that Luna herself hails from. The refugees from Azafas are not just typical refugees. They are when Azafas when the apocalypse was going down, Azafas decided that it would only take care of the essential portion of its population. Everybody else that was deemed non-essential was kicked out of the city. Wasn't worth keeping you around. That's the community that ended up here in the Ironwood, the non-essentials. They are pretty upset, as one might imagine, about being kicked out of their homes and being forced to live in the Ironwood. And there's a lot of cultural tension between the two. We didn't get into it too much because you guys we did a lot of speed running through the case. But the Ironwoodians and the Azafasian refugees have a lot of differences that have been kind of clashing. The de facto leader of the refugees, Kyra de Muerto, daughter of one of the most powerful, daughter of the richest family on the continent, the De Muertos. She is actually amongst the non-essentials, and she was the one who was like clashing with Lenza a lot, right? So as these people were disappearing, they would come back and they would be very anti-Lenza, who is the captain of the Ironborn Rangers. But importantly, Lenza is not the leader of the town of the Ironwood. That is the sage Elda Earthbreaker, who is currently not in town at the moment. So Lenza was in charge, and Lenza was having a hell of a time keeping the peace between the Ironwoodians and Kyra's refugees.
Yeah.
This might be controversial.
Yeah.
But Azafas was right. The rich are useless. Get rid of them.
that's an interesting perspective, right? How does the daughter of the richest family get kicked out?
I have not thought of
That
that.
tells us a little something about what Azafas might feel is essential,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Have
Isn't
we
that
talked?
better?
Have we talked to anyone in game like about the state of Azafast right now? Because there's a lot of Azafastians here that we could talk to about that.
Luna's old friend mentioned that things were tense, I think.
Tense, yeah.
This was an intent of mine to find out a lot of information.
But then vampires happened.
Yeah, vampires have. I think.
Well, let's
One of
not
our
get too
party
far
members-
ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Let's not take it too. So at this point, that's the backdrop, right? Uzana's poisoned by Audrey. Audrey says to Luna, "I can protect you from what's coming. I'm the only one who can protect you," and begs Luna to come with. Luna agrees and has probably one of the craziest kills of this campaign on the horseback with Audrey.
Yeah.
That was incredible. Luna's doing a sneak attack, and you melted his body, didn't you?
Holy shit.
Yeah, because the roll landed on like I forgot the spell, but one of the possible effects is acid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was like a crit with acid on it.
You wicked witch
I'll say like
arrested him.
from a player's perspective, the reason I went along with this person, because like Ken and I, we had an idea where all of this was leading to, and I had made sure a couple times to see like what direction can I guess that that we're going in the forest, and it ended up, I think it was like north or northeast, but basically it was like north was in it, and that kind of loosely confirmed what we were guessing where we're going. So then I figured, okay, at this point I don't need this person.
That's true. That's true, because you guys had learned the most recent victim, the most recent unmemorable Gina Neblin. You guys were on her tail, and you had learned about the Neblin workshop, her father's now long lost workshop in Iron Hills. And it seemed that Audrey, upon taking Luna, was moving in that direction. Yep. And this is when Pym ran back into town. The kids were sent by Lycus and Edenor back to the ship, right? Lycus and Edenor are hanging out with Serena on the Water Drake. Actually, no, I think they were on their way back to the ship as well, or maybe to the temple. But Pym intercepted them, and Pym explained Luna was kidnapped. You guys, I think Uzana was with you at that point. You guys get onto the Water Drake and go after Luna, and then we have the party reuniting. I think in one of the most emotional scenes of the arc so far.
Yeah, we came across a blood-stained Luna who had just slain this stalker of hers, and noticed that you were looking a little down or rattled or something. So Pym came down to talk to you, and you confided in her your deep dark secret.
I think this confirmed that Ralavan, who is, let's say, from Luna's story arc perspective, is probably the Joker to her Batman at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I
Ralavan
think that
to
was the
you,
first time.
like you guys know each other.
Well, we're both members of this thing called the Selection War, and in my Zero session, he had kidnapped Uzana and brought her to a location. Luna, came to that same location, and in that area, he had killed Uzana, and it led to a duel between Ralavan and Luna, and pretty much what ended up with Ralavan putting Luna in like a near-death state and giving her a bite on the neck.
A kiss.
And
No more than
worse, like
vampire
a hickey extreme.
Yeah.
'Cause it turns out Ralavan is
Extreme
a vampire
ages.
lineage.
Yeah, and
And
now
with Adrian Brody, I think that was when it really, because the thing with Gina happened afterwards, I think, the talk.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
with Adrian Brody, it really confirmed that this guy has control over anyone, as far as we know, anyone that he's turned. We're assuming he's the one who's turned everyone.
except you so far.
Yes, because he admitted that the transformation was only partially complete.
Yeah, so you're like partial vamp.
And after thinking that and realizing, oh man, that, I don't know, I kept it secret. This is 40 sessions in, 41 or something, maybe.
Yeah, this is 41.
Somewhere between there.
Yeah.
That the whole time, Luna's been a Dampier.
Mhm.
Dampier?
Damn.
That's the right word.
Yeah, Dampier. Yeah, that was the longest, like one of the biggest party secrets.
That was
I
crazy.
think that has been
I-
going on for this long. Yeah.
And
I've
looking
done
back,
so many things.
yeah, looking
Side-
back
yeah,
at
there-
the sessions, we're like, oh, that was a hint, that was a hint, that was a hint. But I never put it together.
It would be things like I would never enter an area without asking for permission.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There are moments where I avoided mirrors or puddles or things like that.
Yep.
We're pretty much, I don't even know if these are actual rules in 2E. They were just like typical vampiric type situations where, or Eddie's casting something holy. I would kind of like walk away.
Yeah, I'll be over here.
Yeah, somehow
Yeah, that
you
led to-
managed.
Huh?
I love
Yeah.
that you made it over 40 sessions without getting a single heal spell put on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's impressive. I get healed
Yeah.
at least 4 times per combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of combat,
Oh,
guys,
the Nebulin Workshop. Yeah, that's when we hit.
we
Oh,
had some
do you wanna
crazy
continue?
encounters. Well, yeah, the Nebulin Workshop. I mean, I do want to make sure we like pace appropriately and like get to the encounter and stuff, but
Sure.
let's summarize the rest of what's going on and get up to speed on the encounter, and then we'll go through our little
I'll just
list.
summarize it real quick for
Yeah.
everybody then. Okay, so party, after you regroup and you learn from Luna that she's a Dampier, you guys commit to heading towards the Nebulin Workshop. Serena delivers you hence on the Water Drake. Upon arriving in the Nebulin Workshop, at the outside, you find that it's abandoned. It looks like no one's been here. It looks like absolute shit. You can see the destructed ruins and remnants of, looks like some sort of like test yard for different things. There were some railroad tracks and stuff. But as you guys were walking around, you were soon ambushed by a bunch of goblins, and the goblins seem to take a very keen interest in Pym, trying to abduct her. But you continue to do your thing and beat up a lot of goblins. I think a lot
Which
of goblins
I'll
fell
just-
that day.
Stop you real quick about the Pym thing. I'm 99% sure, like this is the theory I'm operating on right now, is that they want Pym to have leverage over Brina, who is captured and maybe not captured, but somehow like was sort of working with the conquering host, but then maybe ended up in sort of a position of servitude, like unclear right now. But I definitely think it was a matter of having leverage over Brina.
Very interesting. Good theory. But yeah, we never ended up learning what their purpose, what their ideas were for Pym. But we did learn how they found out about the party coming here, and that is because the party, after the initial arrival in the Ironwood, you lost track of Umpin Neblin, an undead gnomish engineer
That we had rescued from the savannah.
that you had rescued in the savannah. Umpin disappeared shortly after arriving in the Ironwood, so you found out, or before you landed, you sent the contingency of your crew to go and find Umpin, right? And I think they were led by Sia, there was Gazalik, Temerity, and Jinzo, your serpent folk guy, who loves to party. That's how I always find Jinzo.
Wild and crazy guy.
I'm a crazy guy. But you found out that they were captured, and your messages that you've been writing to each other via a nifty little texting device that Luna created were intercepted, right? The signal chat is been dropped. You guys didn't know that there was a journalist on the chat the entire time.
No, we accidentally added the editor.
So
Yeah.
So then you guys found out you did it first. Then you guys found within Neblin's workshop, you found like a little cave. There's a dried up waterfall, and now you can see Given that there's no water, there's a little cave entrance. You went inside and you found the workshop proper. There were a few more goblins hanging out in there. It looks like they were all positioned around this super powerful fan that would have made for a very interesting hazard had the party not had Lycus specifically, not quickly dashed in, throwing his blow-up spear, eliminating all of them. And this is where the trend of the spear causing catastrophic, collateral damage is beginning. Because that spear is what kicked off the lava.
Yeah.
The lava flows, there were big pipes of lava that the Nebulans were using to power their devices. And without the Nebulans there to take care of them, Lycus, the blast from your spear did damage them, and then lava started to pour into the place.
That tracks.
Go check out
You might have to put a timeout on that.
The
there,
Floor
man.
is Lava. It's a great episode. Go check it
Floor
out
is
on
Lava.
YouTube.
Yeah.
It is the longest. It is also the longest one of this arc
It
so
is.
far.
It was a dicey encounter.
You guys
Dicey.
then you knew Gina. You had suspicions that Gina might be here, so Lycus and Luna went further in. Pimp, I think you joined them as well. Edenor found the statuette of Luna, the wood golem carving of Luna.
With a blindfold
You guys
on?
did find Gina with a blindfold on. You guys did find Gina. You also found Umpin. It was a pretty tense moment where Lycus had to convince Umpin to let him take Umpin's daughter to safety. Umpin feeling very guilty as a father for letting Gina down. But he decides to trust you and promises that he will go hunting himself. Throughout all of this, Luna is getting just hit with all these messages from Ralavin, just mocking her. You all managed to leave with Gina in tow, with Gina rescued. You return to the Ironwood and you find that Lensa has taken command of the Yoka's will. You find Clink heavily injured and all of the Ironborn Rangers along the deck of your ship. Lensa's pretty pissed that you guys left with the Water Drake. She is grateful that you brought Gina back, though, and you find out that Kanari did manage to overpower Clink and the children and stole the bomb.
Yeah, weird.
We got a power level Clink. Like,
You guys are taking Clink on mission
We
to the
need
power
to.
level. Clink, get the final blow
Yeah,
on this bomb.
powder or something.
Clink needs to get good. Ugh.
Yeah, unfortunately, Kanari did escape. Did go on the run with the air elemental bomb that you guys had. Party then fills Lensa in on what's going on. Reveal the vampires are present in town, and that the case of the Unmemorables is all tied up with this, and that you have Gina's body, and that you're worried that Gina might be a vampire. So it takes a while, but you convince Blareed, her sister, to keep Gina on the ship in shackles while she rests, and to see if the transformation would take. Luna convinced everybody to leave the room, anticipating that if left alone with Gina, perhaps Ralavin might be willing to come out and talk, which did happen. Luna and Ralavin, via possession of Gina, have quite a discussion about what's Ralavin's plan. Ralavin doing a lot of taunting of Luna, but you learned that he's in the city and he's doing stuff, and it's going to happen soon.
See, that's where it was. We're trying to figure out when Ralavin confirmed that he was in the city.
Yeah,
It was in that
it's through the
conversation.
Gina.
I still
Yeah.
kind of look at I'm not entirely sure if he's actually there.
Yeah.
'cause
When you
Is he
have
physically
control
there?
over things.
Or does he just
Yeah.
have control? Is he pulling his stringy puppets?
Yeah,
TBD.
and I
You know
think
what the scary thing is? Like in my zero session, I can't be 100% sure that was relevant. Although I have to meta it because what he is now wasn't. I don't think that was thought about at that time because that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. It's
And we were
developed a
in
lot.
D&D.
Yeah, he's developed a lot over the transition, especially. But you guys decide that this information is important enough that you need to go and notify Lycus and Edenor as soon as possible. Who are Lycus and Edenor going to check on their kids who are in the Ironwood Hospital? right? After what Konari did, they were taken by Martha to receive healing. This is when, in classic Lycus fashion, we are outside a temple, and Lycus decides to pickpocket his friend for a piece of cold iron, which you guys learn is effective against the vampires, and Lycus presses it to the neck of one of the temple's clergymen, right? It sizzles, and the dude spits, and his fangs come out, and sure as shit, your instincts were correct. He was a vampire.
You gotta
And then-
verify.
Yeah, and then you guys proceeded to like try to get into the temple, and he refused you. There was some discussion about getting him signed up with a different healthcare option, all these different things. You guys do make it after that encounter, though, to the kids, deciding, okay, you know what, vampire, you keep your secrets. The party, Luna and Pim, you guys on your way to the rest of the party, you run into Zion Fullrest, the crafter, the masterwork crafter.
That's
Who
right.
gives you guys a couple of real nifty little items, and then you see a couple of Hyrengar, gray, ashen-skinned dwarves who are, basically the dark dwarves. You see them entering his tent. After you leave, you meet up with your party. You guys finally rest. The party takes their first rest in quite some time, much needed. But throughout the rest, you were getting updates from friends. You are finding that there are vampires spying on you, keeping an eye on you. Lycus licks his balls to throw the vampire off his from noticing him.
That really got
It
him.
worked. It worked.
It worked.
Him
When in
decided
doubt,
to
give him
just
a lick.
try to start a conversation. Different
did.
approach.
But at that point, when Pim came out, things had kind of progressed, and the vampires seemed pretty happy about stuff. And it's in Luna's rest, when the last hour of the rest, the party is approached by Jeffrey, the quartermaster of the Ironborn Rangers, who says, Lense's captured, Kyra's at the temple, it's bad. At this point, you guys can start to see columns of smoke rising from the front of the temple. And the party heroically tells Jeffrey to just wait another hour. Well, we've got to rest, and we'll help you in an hour.
Listen.
No. We
Listen.
spent an hour preparing.
You're making us sound bad. Here's what really happened.
Here's a real. Okay, tell me, please, for the record.
Well, that's pretty much how it went, actually.
You want me to say that? This
But
is what
listen,
happened.
We were really, really tired. Like, we needed a rest. If we hadn't rested
All we
fully
said-
before we went in,
Yeah.
we all be dead, probably. That's what I think.
All we said to these people were, watch the church. And within a long time span, a civil war started. The leader of one got captured and into the church, smoke rising. Like,
The other one's a
was an
fucking
eventful day.
vampire. Yeah,
It was an eventful day.
it was eventful. Yeah,
But
I'd
when
be
did we
so
go to see-
curious to know
Hmm?
exactly how Lensa got captured. Because
It was revealed. She wasn't captured, but she
Oh.
agreed to. She entered voluntarily.
oh,
see,
because
she's just
Kyra
dumb.
is
She's
worse.
just dumb. Now I don't feel bad.
even
Kyra-
worse.
Yeah,
Just-
Kyra. Jeffrey said that Lensa went in to open a dialogue with Kyra rather than everybody shouting out in the streets. Lensa agreed to try to negotiate some form of peace.
And how did
went
that
into the
work
temple.
out for her?
It didn't. As in, we'll see actually. But then after
I
after the
had
rest,
taken them in, but
Mm.
okay.
no, she went in. She went in to
Work.
negotiate. She went in to negotiate because Kyra was definitely. I mean, you guys walk into the tension there. Anyway, party, you regroup, and we have the epic walk from the grove up to the temple, and then we have the confrontation with Kyra and Edenor and Lycus, while Pim and Luna go invisible, and then we are here in the encounter that we're currently in. You guys saw Pim and Luna while you were invisible sneaking in. You saw the water drake off in the distance, and it is now when we are back in it had just
So,
arrived.
Hold on, important thing.
One big detail.
Yep,
Are you gonna say it?
you do it.
Lycus and Ednor saw a NPC named Konari.
Yeah. Well, who
within
they
the door,
believe
like
to
the
be
door to
Kunari.
the
Yeah.
church. Yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
we are aware right now that Kunari is the one who had this bomb that the kids went and hid and lost.
Right.
Yes,
So
yes.
our number one priority, Pim and Luna at least at this point, is to go find the bomb. So that's why we went invisible. The
Mhm.
theory behind it was that we would
Yeah.
get to go unnoticed, sneak around, find the bomb, grab it, and get out without anything bad happening.
Yeah.
Or at least make an attempt to grab it. Like
Let's try it,
even a step or two behind that, but yeah.
Instead, we immediately, Lycus and Edenor immediately broke out into combat in front of the church. And Luna and I wasted about, how many turns do you think? Trying to stay invisible? 7?
3.
Are you talking
No.
about one session or multiple sessions?
Multiple sessions, all the sessions. This is now a
Just go by
4-part
session.
encounter.
3 sessions. 3 sessions.
3 sessions of prioritizing invisibility over helping our friends. And meanwhile, Lycus has gone down once or twice, and we still don't have the
wait.
bomb. We don't
Never
even
gone
know
down.
where the bomb is.
I want to be clear
Okay,
because
okay.
one of my feats is dependent on this. Have not gone down yet.
Okay,
Has not gone down yet.
Good to know.
He's still in it. He's very. I don't know how hurt you are, but I know we ended with you getting. Was it a crit? Yeah, you get crit on by Ralavan.
I've
Yeah.
been crit
Or
on
by-
Not relevant.
this last fight, I think 6 times.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's right. Because you got destroyed by the mooks. You got surrounded by 4 vampires,
Well,
east,
yeah,
northwest, and south.
And here's where
Or,
that
no, burning northwest and south.
Kanye's kids just came in and attacked.
Yeah.
And here's where like
Yes,
the
yeah.
crit rules in Pathfinder get real juicy, because you set something up that way to be likely to crit and just poo 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 poo. That's a super efficient way to take someone down.
Yeah. Lycus has been taking a hell of a beating.
So
Yeah.
so currently right now, Pim and Luna are in the crypt basement
Yep.
slash crypt of this church
And we're
with a
at full
bunch of
health.
coffins everywhere. And we have we're okay on that part. And we have a fallen Lenza that's all the way
Yes.
that's in this crypt. Now,
Yes.
I've seen the episode, David. I think only Ednor and Lycus, as far as I'm aware, has seen this. I don't
Correct.
think either Pim and I have seen this. Because from our perspective, it's just like there was some of the floor above, which is where Lycus and Eddie are. Part of it came down, and that's how both of
Correct.
them saw Lenza's body. While Pim and Luna are on another side of this crypt, and we just don't have
We
the
just haven't seen it yet.
LOS.
Yeah, you don't have the LOS on Lensa yet. But Lycus and Edenor, when the floor caved in, they can see into the crypt below, and through the cave in, and they saw the gruesome depiction of Lensa in a coffin
And-
lined with spikes.
Saw the bite marks too, didn't he? Or am I imagining
No one
that?
saw bite marks.
Okay.
No one. I think there was a roll to see, but I don't think it was confirmed.
Okay.
I think it ended up being like too hard, or like we didn't make the DC or something. But yeah, that's where we're at now. So the party is still on the way to Lensa has been located, at least for half the party, but the bomb still in play. All right, Ira killed by Edenor's gunblade, decapitated, and Thiarl Bronzefist, the priest, who was heavily injured and was then now possessed by Ralavan, bolstered by that unholy connection, has closed in on Lycus, and now I think is trying his best to kill Lycus this next turn. If Edenor comes in and drops another 45 damage, then there's only so much he can do. But
Listen, he's not the first to try.
he won't be the last.
Yeah.
He won't be the last either.
So yeah, that kind of catches us up where we're at now. So guys, how do you feel about the arc so far? What highs, lows? What do you like? Anything you didn't like or wish that it might have gone differently?
Do you guys want to do a low each and then a high, just so that we go through get to like the nice parts
Sure.
after?
Sure. You want to kick it off?
Yeah. I got a few gripes.
He's like, I'm ready.
Okay, let's
I
hear
got a
it.
couple gripes.
let's get to gripes.
One, look, I understand that, like, we said do these things to these NPCs, but also, what are the odds? What are the odds? I find that contentious, but also, as a DM, fair play.
Wait, what exactly are you talking about right now?
Like, alright, we told them. We told them. We told Clink to hide Canary. That is, I think that's a fair assumption, a fair idea to do. We told the kids to hide the bomb because we thought they would take it off ship where it couldn't be found. The fact that they ended up in the same place, that is on David. And again, it's a fair choice because as a DM, that definitely causes more problems, which is fun.
That is true.
But at the same time, not on me.
I've learned you can't leave anything unspoken. You can't let him have that power.
That is valid.
He will use and abuse it.
As someone married to him, I agree.
Okay. Let me just say this. When I told you guys, I thought you'd picked up on what happened because you learned that where the bomb was before it was taken, right? Like,
and I fully forgot where we put Canary.
Yep, that part's not on me.
Listen, I've showed you what my notes look like. I've showed you what my session notes look like. They are at most thought of like flow of consciousness at best. So like but anyways, second gripe. This one's more of a just like want, I guess. I really wish that like the first episode or two, instead of getting right into the mission and like into the mystery, which is really cool, I kind of just want to walk around town. Just be like, hey NPC, you get to know people.
Yeah.
Hopefully get our shit fixed.
I was all for that, and then you guys heard, oh, Gina Neblin might be coming back in like 8 hours. We got to go right into it. Because I was thinking that was going to be kind of the thing. Like, you know, you come in, you hear about the case, right? And then we, you know, maybe rest and then explore the Ironwood. But then I think with the Unmemorables reveal, and then Nigel putting the timeline together, realized, well, shit, Gina Neblin should be coming back, like based on the timeline, should be coming back pretty soon, like within the next day. You guys decided to see if you could head it off, interrupt it, and get her back before whatever's been happening could happen. So I know
once again, like I said before, it comes back to Muna and Mip.
Didn't you? Okay, listen. Didn't you go chasing some guy in an alleyway in your session?
No. We chased him out. We chased him in public, in daylight, right in a broad street. Thank you very much.
You just bombed some kids and you ran after someone in an alleyway.
It's not better.
You had your chance to walk through the town, but you chose to chase random. And didn't you beat the shit out of him, or did you like?
No. We just destroyed their weapon and threatened them.
Yeah. Hey, she got her revenge though. She got her revenge because you were about to kill her brother, and she said, "No, please don't. I'll give you information, Lycus." And Lycus is like, "Okay, I'll let him go." And then she just scooped him up and left.
And that's what happened.
Like, wait, where's my information? It's like, nope, sorry, I'm a bad guy. I'm not gonna follow through on my deal.
Okay.
And also, like, in our defense, you know, Mip and Luna, we went shopping. You know?
Yeah, while we were in danger.
Who caused the danger? It's like,
you can't be like, hey, I need your help.
Why am I
in
getting
danger
hurt? I don't know.
When you're the one who did it to yourself. Okay, but wait.
Okay.
I have one.
Go ahead.
This is a big one, sir.
Okay. Me?
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Listen,
okay.
We desperately needed a long rest.
We have the same one. I think we have the same one, Hannah.
7 hours
Preach.
in, here comes the GM playing his little NPC, trying to get us to give up our long rest. Listen.
100 emoji.
No. We need to rest. You don't get to take that from us. It was cruel. It was cruel, David.
I want to add on to this. No, David, wait. I want to add on to this. What time did we go to bed by? Was it like late.
Oh, it was early
Like-
morning when you finally
It
rested.
was like 3 or 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's early morning.
So let's put this into perspective, right? We go to bed around 3. Why are these people? How did a civil war happen between the middle of the morning to before midday? Because within that
mean-
8-hour range,
That-
people
There's
wake
no
up
sun
like,
cycle. What is day and night anymore? You know?
Yeah,
to
it's
cut
just,
you-
the
that's just-
lighting is the same in this world, no matter what
Exactly.
time it is.
Yeah.
no, but there's a clear sleep structure because like when we were out
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, there was less people on those, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but
So-
but honestly, I will just all things considered, and we talked about this, David, that actually did make the rest of the encounter and like where we're at right now infinitely more interesting. So ultimately,
Yeah.
I am glad that it worked out that way, but I just like to give you shit. So that's all.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I would say it's totally fair. It was kind of, I knew it was going to be a dick move to say like, oh, hey, everything's going down right now. But it was also, there's part of a reason for this. One, the bad guys were watching you. They know where you're at. They know what you're doing, right?
They obviously
They know
know
why
how
you're
to
there.
play Pathfinder too. They know the mechanics.
They obviously know how to play Pathfinder. Ralavin is not going to. We can get into the discussion of the type of villain that Ralavin is, but Ralavin is the kind of villain where he will exploit any possible advantage, right? And is orchestrating this whole thing between the possession and everything that you guys have seen, and seeing how many people have been affected now by Ralavin. We recently learned Kyra was one too, right? So there's that. Ralavin is adding fuel
Everywhere.
to that fire.
Yeah.
Everywhere, all at
everywhere
once,
and
and
nowhere.
adding fuel. Yeah. Yep. The other thing too is, as far as rest timing would have gone, if everybody had rested right on the ship, you would have probably made it. You would have probably hit that exact hour. But running to regroup and find the kids at the hospital and stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry for caring about the children.
Hey, I'm just saying, choices have consequences.
I know.
But that being said, I honestly can't say that Ralavin would have let you get a full rest. This is just not that kind of character, right?
Yeah.
As far as villains go, Ralavin is one of those that's gonna, grab, no pun intended, but grab at your neck and keep on holding on to it.
Yeah, he wants chaos and control and power.
Yep. And again, and my final thing is I always like making like heavy choices. I
Yeah.
love making like, okay, this is the choice, right?
I think
Yeah.
that's a defining characteristic of your GMing style, which, like I said, I ultimately, like, even in those moments of frustration, they're hilarious. And ultimately, it's like, this is what makes the game challenging, is to have some, like, consequences either way. No matter what we do, something good's gonna happen, something bad's gonna happen. And we get to decide which is the lesser of two evils or the greater of two benefits. And like, that's the kind of juicy stuff that like sends us forward,
Yeah, I think so. Nigel, gripes?
Forgot we were doing
The,
that.
the part
Gripes?
initially was that the escalation portion, and I mean I'm thinking about it hard now that he has control over Kyra. Kyra can go and like add fuel to the fire basically on one side. It's the Lenza part that I can't quite line up. And
So
Yeah.
that's
Based on,
also going to
like-
be that's one of those
based on
where
yeah, continue.
no, sorry, you got it.
Based on so I did this is a little side note
Mhm.
because I'm trying to figure out this mystery, trying to find out what the bomb is,
Mhm.
and I went and took the I went and get the video transcript of the last six to 8 episodes or so. Basically, anything where Ralvin could have been mentioned, and I went and put them in ChatGPT and to try and figure out what is a pattern that's forming here, something that we could be missing. And I think there's interesting things in here that it might not reveal exactly what he's doing, but there are themes that it's mentioning that might unlock on how certain things happen. And the only thing that makes sense for me from a Lenza perspective is manipulation in some way.
Well, the thing with Lenza is that, like, she's a soldier. She's a great soldier, but she's not a leader. Like, not in this way.
Yeah.
So, like, the second someone who has, like, political influence comes in and says, hey, no, you're fucking everything up, her immediate response is not, oh, hey, I need to bring this person in before they usurp me. It's to fight back. And that was the wrong choice. And we saw her make that choice, like, with me and Edenor. We could infer that she made the same choice with the more
It's everywhere.
Well, she might have turned out better if she took it from the soldier perspective, because what we're aware of is that she went in to try and negotiate. We had warned her that what was in that church. The only thing that makes sense in my mind right now is some sort of manipulation from Ralvin's side.
What I'm saying is, like,
he has
like,
memory erasure possibilities as well.
Have we considered the possibility that Lenza's dead body could just be an illusion?
I'm assuming she just got come back as a vampire.
That was my first thought. That's why, David, I know you were like looking for a bigger reaction at the reveal of Lenza's death, but my brain, because of what happened with Gina and our ability to sit and wait and see if she comes back, that's what I was thinking with Lenza. I was like, okay, this might be okay.
This could be another one.
Yeah. But again, none of us have gotten close enough to see what the deal is. All we can see, all at least Lycus and Edenor can see, is a dead Lenza.
Is the body.
I guess, but from a mechanical standpoint, I think David would have had to roll like 2 secret rolls if it was an illusion, for example. Because then, if you're gonna say that Eddie and Lycus see Lenza, then if it's an illusion, they have to like roll something.
True.
I assume it's a secret roll.
True.
And Edenor and I are not smart or like super perceptive in that way.
But Edenor's will saves are crazy.
His will saves are crazy.
Yeah.
Strong-willed.
Yeah.
That one.
I wish Edenor was here to Max was here to defend Edenor's position on everything that's happening in the church.
We could I want to get in on Edenor eventually for what he did to Kyra, but I will say this isn't a low David, but it's more of like a, how would I put this, opening up mind perspective, because this is the first smart villain that I think we've ever had. We were going from like 20 IQ to like 130, like that kind of jump. And it's good to know, like, in hindsight, realize, like, just thinking about how much smarter of a villain this is. I know that there are some things I would probably do differently, but that's not a low. More like this is like a huge learning experience, having a smart villain.
Ralvin.
Yeah, it's
Ralvin
really scary.
wants to. Yeah, he's a big manipulator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really like Ralvin, his dark manipulation bullshit, but like I'm also excited to a character like this, like Ralvin, when they're literally pushed to the forefront, that's when I'm most excited to see like what their whole shtick becomes.
Mm-hmm.
Because like at that point he could go in any direction. He could become like that weird person becomes real angry when you call out their bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, it's your own fault, and then they freak out about it. Or you could just like, I don't know, it could be anything. And I'm excited to see exactly where that goes.
Yeah, we're gonna have
so
to.
Like,
On just directly related to that, real quick on that, we got to figure out what makes Ralvin tick and give him a taste of his own medicine. And Luna probably knows something that could help because you know him. Just a thought.
I know, yeah. pieces here and there.
Here's
I
what
think
we
I
do.
was, I was
How do
kind
you-
of trying to. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I'll bite him and make him to a werewolf, and then make him my thrall. And
You guys aren't thinking.
And then he commands Luna, and then you.
You command him, and then you get control over Luna.
Luna, do the laundry now.
Either I'm overthinking this, or you guys aren't thinking on the part that one of our biggest mysteries is just trying to. How do we know if we ever find the original Ralvin? Is this going to be the one who doesn't have any bite marks? Like there has to be some indication that this is the original in some way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we're just killing minions here and there.
Yeah. The ability to possess people means that he can hide himself, like his actual body. Yeah. It's true.
We don't have a range either. I mean, because I keep assuming he's not in a city, but we don't exactly know how far he can control people.
Yeah.
Is this a situation like in Freerin with the mage that was able to duplicate himself? I don't know, or make a copy of himself. If he's all back in Azafast, just
Don't be giving David any ideas now.
He's actually just using the message cantrip. He's actually very nearby.
Yeah.
He's actually right behind you.
He's been spamming invisibility, just back and back.
well, luckily David has mechanics to follow, so it depends on what the mechanics mention. That's a little meta talking though, but
there are rules for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm playing within them. Okay, should we do highs?
Yeah, let's do highs.
yeah, I would say my high
Let's get high.
easily is I think Ralvin's the most interesting villain that we've had by I don't know 2x 3x, just because like the type of character I like that it's like a Joker type character too,
Yeah.
and there's a little bit just I also like the fact that this is also a villain related to Luna's backstory. That's a little self show offy. And then I've been treating this like a Batman trying to find Joker, basically.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying trying to figure out how to find this guy.
That's
It's
awesome.
a very tricky one. Mine is sort of similar in that a little more encounter specific. I think this is one of my favorite encounters from the whole campaign. Not just because of how like engaged with it we are, but we're engaged with it because there's always something that like, and we this is what we were talking about last night, David. There's always something that changes every round. Something either in the environment or the stakes are suddenly higher somehow. Something changes that causes us to have to like flip our strategy. You know, like the hazard that we had to disable, the floor breaking
out.
Um
Them closing the doors and locking in Edenor.
yes.
Like
yes.
ate a turn of Lycuses, basically.
And getting down to the crypt and not being able to see anything. Like Pim has to do something about that. There's just a lot of
You should have a torch, by the way. I think most PCs
Yeah.
have like an adventure pack or something.
yeah, I think I
So,
do. I think I do.
You know.
But the fact that we prioritized staying invisible for so long.
I don't even want to talk about it. Sorry. If we were supposed to be talking about it, I don't even want to talk about it. The hours of my life spent stealthing around.
And how excited I was to be invisible and how useless it ended up being is just hilarious. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, it can get you guys into position without drawing aggro, right? So there's
I mean,
that.
you guys
know-
are
Mhm.
clean. You have taken no damage. You've spent no real resources.
I mean, that is
So,
true.
like-
Going into this like last leg of this
Shannon.
encounter, we do have at least 2 party members with pretty much full resources. So that is actually really good.
You know what didn't help with how many turns it took, Hannah? Can you guess what I'm
Here
about
he
to
comes.
say?
Here he
Yeah.
comes.
Hannah?
I took care of that hazard. You're welcome.
It was like four rounds.
It was not
The
that
hazard
much.
was made from a book. It was like 4 rounds.
It was
of-
like 2
Okay.
rounds maximum of book stuff. It was a cool move.
And-
Okay, I have no regrets. I don't care what you say.
And the opportunity ended in one round when it was gripped. And the GM says, did it fall closed or open?
Little background. This hazard was caused by some sort of magic effect by a book that was laying open on a surface, and all I had to do was close the book, but I was not picking up on that, so my mage hand picked up the book like so.
Yeah, picked it up open and moved it across the field.
It open and moved it across the field, and nothing changed except the hazard moved closer to us. Which ended up being hilarious because Luna fell into it when you were trying to cut me off and pick me up.
Yeah, because we're burning the clock, man.
Oh my god.
What are you doing with this book? Let's go.
That was a really funny moment.
What about yep.
I was gonna ask, what about any favorite moments from you from this this arc so far?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I want a quick shout out to just all of our entrances. I love making a good entrance, and this one has been full of them.
Yeah.
Just hilariously good entrances. But aside from that, the start of this encounter I think has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed getting to have that like verbal combat with the Muerte at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Verbal combat, you mean like discussion?
Yeah, well, we were fighting over who gets like control of the mob, essentially.
True.
Yep.
And it went well, and I almost fucked it, but I chose not to. I unfucked it.
Yeah, after we all left.
We're all like, dude, that was a successful diplomacy. You had him, man. You had it going.
And then he goes and casts his geyser on her. And then
but how funny would that have been?
And then you're like,
This guy has the
how
nerve
about
to
I just get her a little bit wet? I just want to get her a little bit wet.
Anyways, but yeah, just that beginning part, like this whole encounter has been a lot of fun. Definitely my highlight. And there were just some moments where I felt like I got more time with Ednor, which I haven't really had. Like legitimate conversation time. Every time that I feel like I've tried to talk with Ednor, like Lycus has, Mac or like Ednor shuts it down, like that's secret stuff, and then he like moves on. And I'm like, motherfucker, because like there's some weird link with Ednor and Lycus that I still, like, me personally as a player, don't know shit about. Like their entrances into the world were remarkably similar. No idea what's going on with that. Their auras are both the same fucking color for some reason, even though now Lycus has some gold in his. All the stuff that Lycus tried a couple times to like communicate with Ednor, and he's like brushed it off. And then finally in this section, we've had a chance to be like, hey man, so like, why the gods? Like, what's going on? And it was nice. It was a nice conversation. And I want to get more into it with him.
Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, I'd love to get more
a really good
role plays. Yeah, that was a really good one. And my favorite moment, I would say, for this arc is actually also a Lycus Ednor moment. It's the Brofist activation with the rain. And Kyra like screaming at you guys and the crowd's all around. I just love the image of just these two surrounded by all these people that are angry at them, and they just go, all right, let's do this.
I'm telling you, epic entrances. Like,
yeah. That shot, there's like I have like a low angle shot from behind them in my mind that just lives rent free in my
front of the
brain.
church in front of them, and they're facing the church. Yeah, I see it too.
Yeah, I'll work it out. I'll get it done.
Still like, yeah.
That took a long time in the making too. Like when it was like lovers gloves.
The lovers gauntlets.
The lovers.
Yeah, when you showed me that,
we call
it was like a year or
gauntlets.
two ago.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is a sleek one, right? We'll throw it in the campaign. Yeah.
I want to highlight one other moment. That we mentioned already, but it was just really nice, I think, when Luna told us about her being a Dampier. I think that
was great.
Real.
I think that was so real and like so unexpected, I guess, because Luna is such a closed off kind of person. Like, you keep a lot to yourself just as a character, and to have her open up to friends was really cool. And it's kind of like we're developing this, like, we all have a little bit of a monster in us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Like
that's
Lycus
a good
with
point.
his lycanthropy, Luna's dampier, Pim has some kind of moth spirit inside of her.
Even the bleaching too.
The bleaching,
Like being a
yeah.
bleaching
The
survivor,
I am a
you
bleacher.
know?
We haven't even touched on that really. And yeah, I think it adds this new layer of complexity to the party and to Luna as a character that I just love. And I also love that it's out in the open now, because now we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nigel and I having sessions or looking at each other and across the webcam whenever like we brush up close to like a reveal. The scene with Malsum where Luna interrogated Malsum in the brig of the Oka's
Yeah.
will while you guys were hunting chickens,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And afterwards, Lycus and Edenor, or I think it was Max, are coming out and going, "Something's fucking up with Luna. What's going on? I want to know.
Yeah.
I don't trust her."
I think Jane might have known a little too much. Kind of shut him up quick.
Yeah,
Where is
Yep,
Jane?
yep.
Is Jane still on the ship?
Jane's around.
He's on the
yeah.
ship.
Yeah, he's on the ship.
Whenever you don't
Okay.
know, just say he's somewhere, and then hopefully that's what he.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's on the ship.
When in doubt, put him on the ship.
Put him on the ship. They're on the poop deck.
Now, you guys had a couple of things that you wanted to talk about here, so let me just take a look at this list. Okay, so arc stuff. We wanted to see a few different ways this arc could possibly end for the Merryfolk, given the current circumstance around Lenza's death, the missing storm bomb, and the fact that Radovan is both everywhere and nowhere. Yeah, I've told you guys before, I'm not doing this to be like straight up. I'm not doing this to be hyperbolic. I'm doing this because I genuinely love this campaign. I've said it before. We are in TPK territory. Like, we need
Yeah.
to tread carefully. That bomb is no joke.
Mhm.
That bomb is no
Yeah.
joke. You know.
And,
So- With like playing out different, or sorry, were you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, like playing out different ways this could end is interesting to think about, because currently we have no leads on where the bomb is. No idea. We just think that maybe Kanari is in here somewhere and has it somewhere. So we're like operating on a lot of assumptions right now, which worries me. But like, let's say the bomb goes off.
Okay.
Let's just consider the implications of that. So first of all, would the town blame us for that happening? Because we brought the bomb to this town. We were responsible for keeping it out of evil hands, and we failed. How many, I mean, I'm wondering, like, thinking out loud here, like, how many people in town know that? Like, obviously Lenza knew, probably a couple of Lenza's core
Rangers,
inner circle.
Jeffrey or Tiff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeffrey for sure.
the
Jeffrey knows.
quartermaster.
Jeffrey knows everything. I just think that we gotta be real careful with optics. Like, at this point, and I'm not normally one to be like, let's do this because it's better for our image. But in this case, the implications of like making enemies with a town as central and important to the world as the Ironwood could be really bad. So
Yeah.
Especially, too, you guys came here for a specific reason, which was to get your ship repaired, and that hasn't happened
and
yet.
that hasn't happened yet, and we still need that to happen.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me. Like,
Well-
I think one of the main reasons I didn't like blast Kyra is because, like, if we had spent the first 2 days or whatever and they had repaired our ship, I think I would give a lot less fucks if we ever come back here and have any reputation to salvage.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's not that case, we need to get them on our side so they fix our shit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a horrible and selfish way to think? Yes. Pirates.
We're pirates, okay?
Or
No,
pirates.
and ultimately, I know you do also care. Like, this does also care about forging allies. Like, that's been your whole thing this campaign. So, like,
No, losing the Ironwood would be huge because, like, I don't know. I'm trying to play this in a few different ways. One, like, remembering that Lycus does care about people, even though he doesn't, like, want to be part of, like, a society. He cares about bringing people together, letting them do their own thing.
mm-hmm.
But two, as a player, I'm like, how can I create, like, something? How can I, like, without stepping on the toes of David, who is the one who creates the world, how can my character leave a mark in the world? And
my philosophy, man, is once players are in the world, it's not my world, it's our world. So leave your marks.
Valid.
Hashtag our world.
I just mean, like I wanted the character to do something that impacted the world in a way going forward, and I felt like creating a alliance around the world, as far as I can make it reach, would be huge. Like, it would be a thing that when we play Heroes of Histaeria Part 7, we'll be like, oh fuck.
When we're 50 years old.
Exactly. Yeah. The Frog Grove became some sort of empire, and now we're all fucked.
Oh my god, yeah. No, it really is.
The Frog Grove Empire would be sick.
As far as ways to leave a mark on a world, forging alliances across the continent is massive. And in ways that we don't even know, that we won't even, like, create until years from now. So I love it. I love it. And I'm so excited to see how it develops.
Me too. And, like, the third thing, which I was mentioning, like, the first two I already mentioned, but the third one was just, I've been really focusing on, like, a couple of themes with Lycus throughout all of the games. And one of which is, how to say, hypocrisy, I guess.
Sure.
Where he 100% believes freedom above all else. But to do that, you need power, because if you're not powerful, you can be controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But to be powerful is to have that control over others.
Interesting.
So to pull together these people, he's enforcing his will over them. He's doing these things. So I've been trying to find a way for him to do that, to create a better world without controlling it, without taking away other people's autonomy. And I've been trying to do that through this method of, like, finding the people who are weak and letting them become strong together. Like, he is there to kill other things that are in the way, and then he does not control the Frog Grove. He does not control anything. Even the fucking ship. He likes to stand in front of everybody, but he doesn't tell them what to do.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
They do say the Pirate King is the most free. I've heard that from
The Pirate King is the most free. That's true. Yeah, he is very Luffy. You know, and I do love the idea of going into community, kind of helping the downtrodden
Lifting
to the
them
surface,
up.
Lifting them up to become leaders of their community, and then creating a network, between those communities that have helped, that you've helped, who will essentially be sharing a certain ethos, right? It's a everybody protecting each other kind of thing, right? Yeah, and I think that'd be great, and and that's something I do hope for the Ironwood, right? The hard part is it's we're close, right? Because there's the bomb, right? And that is the immediate threat, but there is still the larger threat waiting in the wings, right?
Conquering host.
The conquering host.
The reason, aside from getting the ship fixed, the reason why we're here, to help the Ironwood protect themselves.
And with Lensa down, Lensa, the commander of the Rangers, and you guys have seen, we don't have a lot of. Well, you guys know that the most experienced Rangers are afield at the moment. So the Ironwood, without Lensa, doesn't have its best protectors.
All right, Jeffrey, you're up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, Jeffrey will be promoted to commander. You know,
For those
certain
also
under
for
control.
people who don't know this, the reason why there's a gap in leadership to begin with is because Elda is
They-
gone right now.
Yeah, she's
Elda
away.
is the
I
de
don't think-
facto leader of the Ironwood, but is not here. We're not exactly.
I don't think anyone has confirmed where Elda is or what.
No,
Yeah, I don't think we've
we don't know.
Yeah. There might
I
be
will say
something
I don't want to act like Lenza is like she exists, so the rest of the inexperienced crew gets like a +5. Not mechanically, but like she like
Yeah.
so like she's not like Aragorn, you know.
Yeah, she's no
She's
Aragorn.
not like a
that's fair.
legendary ranger, yeah.
She's a temporary leader here.
Yeah.
for
Yeah, but
example.
more importantly with her is that like right now the merryfolk don't look good if this is where the the real leadership comes in. I know we argued about this the other night, but like admittedly you guys know the other characters and I don't. But like if they come back, this doesn't look good for us. And Lenza is kind of the one that would be able to say like, no, they were helping, but she's
Yeah.
dead.
So
And
we're kind
we
of
also
on our own.
decapitated the other leader of the people.
That's what I'm saying, like,
decapitated
optics
the leader
are-
of the people and let the military leader die.
Okay, hold on. Well,
I-
we did not let
Yeah.
anyone die.
I put in quotes. I put that in air quotes.
Yeah, yeah, but it's important for our defending ourselves when the time comes, which it will, unless we all die. We
With these
have
closing
to
statements I would like to say.
we have to like remember like our truth, and our truth is we came here to help you defend yourself against the impending attack of the conquering host, and we are still going to do that whether you want us here or not. Also, these fucking vampires were the ones who were really ruining your town, and we're taking care of them for you. So
It's the bomb. The
know,
winning
if the
condition is
bomb
not
goes
letting the
off-
bomb go off.
yeah,
Because if that goes off, then I don't think we have any real defense. We just have to like GTFO.
then we really fucked up, essentially, if that happens.
There's the bomb. There's the vamps. I wish I had like a screen to like draw this stuff. There's the
We
bomb
need to
going
red
off. There's the
string theory
vamp.
it.
Yeah, and then you have the two opposing forces, which is Ironwood people and the refugees.
Yeah.
Right. Then yeah, their leaders are gone for now.
Yeah.
I have an idea for the
There's a
refugees.
huge
part.
vacuum of leadership.
Huge.
There's a huge
Um,
vacuum.
But in terms of like, if we want to talk about blaming the merry folk, the only thing I could think of logically is the bomb part.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
one
and I
we
don't
will
think-
absolutely have to take full ownership of if it
I
comes to it.
I do caution us to get into, maybe not go into the headspace of, blaming, fault, and, assigning that kind of stuff. A lot of this, too, is just the circumstances, right? Like, characters doing what characters do. Ralavin exploiting the party's, lack of knowledge about him, right? That's on him. Lenza going in to try to negotiate with Kyra into the temple after you guys explicitly warned against it. That's on Lenza.
Right.
Right. Even Kanari escaping and with the bomb. That's on Kanari. Right. That's not necessarily on the party. Like this is one of those things I had to way back when a certain character of mine was being blamed for a pretty intense decision that resulted in a player death. The bad guys are making their choices too, right? So it's not just on the party. It's just the perfect storm it's the situation of like,
Yeah.
are these choices going to line up, right? And I think anticipation is the big one, right? And the hard part with going up against a villain like Ralavin is very difficult to anticipate what he might be thinking of doing next because.
He's almost omnipotent in a way.
Yeah, well, there's that, and he, between his control, like his possession of people, like, yeah, he's got eyes and ears all over the place, and he can, stay relatively safe. So yeah, it's a tough villain to contend with.
Yeah,
And
Button's message is right here. So what I'm thinking about is blame is involved here and like taking responsibility and stuff, but really it's like, are we going to come out of this being friends with the
Heroes.
Ironwood or enemies or whatever foes?
Yeah.
That's
'cause, like,
the big question.
Ultimately, I do think we stand as the heroes here in whatever way
Oh, yeah.
that matters.
I have no doubt we
But-
are heroes.
Exactly,
If the
but that
bomb
doesn't.
doesn't go off. Or
Even if the bomb
bomb goes off,
does
it
go
doesn't do
off,
much
we
damage.
are. Even if the bomb does go off, moralistically speaking, we are doing things in a We're doing things morally right,
And
but that
Oh.
doesn't matter for optics.
yeah, exactly. But one thing for optics, you did you in the last 3 sessions ago when the encounter started, you publicly and loudly and audibly warned everyone of the bomb and told them to go. And there are witnesses to that. So like we did do our part to try to save people from the threat of the bomb. So hopefully
Yeah,
that
they didn't go anywhere though.
they didn't listen, but we can say that we tried,
Didn't. Not even 5 feet. Not even 5 feet. They didn't move. They stayed their ass there.
I just
I
think
like-
damage
I like
control, like at the end of all this, there's going to be some damage control as
Oh, for
far
sure.
as like
It'll be fun.
PR goes.
Yeah, this is a big encounter with major implications for the future of the Ironwood.
And even
Yeah.
beyond the Ironwood, as a fast, like
Yeah, that's
Kyra's
true.
down.
Yeah, I would say
Kyra's
so.
gone.
Kyra, yeah, and this is something Nigel and I talked about. It's like not only is Kyra down, but the people who her bodyguards, they managed to escape.
Insane.
Yeah,
I am pretty sure I wrote in Discord chat, please don't kill Kyra.
yeah.
You can have
Oh,
a
Matt-
conversation with her. She's a
Complete-
very important NPC.
Max completely ignored that.
Yeah, Max didn't give a shit.
first shot.
He was trying to kill demons.
Yeah.
And
Ugh.
the fact that the Hirengar, Badnerd, and Sidri managed to escape with knowledge of this, that's something I'm looking forward to playing with.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's something that I'm also really excited about because generally speaking, I think Lycus is very against Azafast as a concept. So to like go in there and already have things at a negative place, I think would be very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The richest family's daughter. Although she was not in Sentia, so I don't know, maybe they don't care that much, but
Oh, they'll care.
she.
They're gonna hate us.
and,
Look, the way I think about it is 1 down, 95 more to go.
Luna, you have your dice with you?
The tough work of heroes.
Actually, I think Luna probably knows about this already. Like one of the big categorizations of who's essential, who's non-essential, right? When Azafast was making his determination was magical prowess, right? How good are you at magic? And you guys saw Kyra didn't cast a single spell. Kyra doesn't have spells. Didn't have spells. So that is something to consider, right?
That's interesting, yeah.
So
All hands.
it's true. But like the people who went and determined that wasn't it like 2 main guilds? It was my
The
own
League of
and
Magi,
the other
Order,
one was it like a law
Azarian
one?
Order. Yeah, the law
Azarian,
one.
there we go.
Order.
Say it again. The two are David. What is it?
The League of Magi, which is Luna's, which is a guild headed by Luna's father Doriander,
Okay.
and the Azarian Order, which is like the peacekeeping force of the city.
Yeah. Okay.
Like kind of military police kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Let me see what else do we have on this list here. How priorities have shifted. Yeah, priorities have shifted. What would you guys say your priorities have shifted? Because when we started the Ironwood arc, the priority was getting the Oka's will repaired.
Yeah.
Right?
We didn't realize, I think, that we were coming into a city with some issues of its
Oh,
own.
speaking of things too, as well. In terms of like timelines and stories and stuff, we had kind of discussed, when the Ironwood arc would be like starting and stuff like that. We had a couple of messages and Gossiper Diaries, or mostly Gossiper Diary stuff, the transition between Luna and Ralavan. And one of the things that happened that really influenced this is when we took that week to repair the ship, because actually the Oka's Will is fully functional, right? It's not broken anymore like it was, so it's fully functional, but it is not customized yet, which is kind of the big project here in the Ironwood. We were going to customize the ship, we were going to rebuild the space and all that stuff, make it more your own. So the Oka's Will was fully healed, but we did spend a week doing that in the savannah, right? And I think I told Nigel, well, I have my ideas for how the story's going, so I'm going to respect that you guys are spending that week in the savannah, and the events of the Ironwood will continue, right? So the party is coming in. Maybe, the party would have had a little bit more time, if we had kind of just jumped in. But again, that's a choice, right? It's like, if we spend the time repairing the ship, I am going to still track time in the Ironwood.
Yeah. That's fair.
I didn't want to do a situation where, like, the story necessarily only, or the conflict only starts when the PCs kind of arrive. Like, I wanted you guys to be walking into something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, we sure did. You had,
frankly,
we had
I think any.
Yeah, go ahead.
The main issue is just underestimating the villain. Like, it was just straight up underestimating the guy. Like I said, is like going from these Mad Max type, villain with like 20 IQ to like quadrupling, well maybe more, like time 6 or 7 levels. And it just always comes back to that. I know you're saying like we came partway through, we would have had more time in the area, but I think even with the time given, if we had come with that mindset that this is I had known he was an assassin.
Yeah.
I was not aware of how all like these additional capabilities. I thought that was what.
So
when speaking to,
that's a really good point, and this is one thing that I kind of one thing I really want to address here with this talk, so we don't have to spend too much time putting it together in game, because I do consider this as part of the game. This is kind of like a session almost, talking about it and dissecting stuff.
Yeah.
As far as the case of the unmemorables goes, have you guys managed to put together, I don't know, patterns of victims? I know that you got the pattern of like when they were being disappeared and stuff like that, and when they came back. But have you thought about, are these victims random? Do they have any sort of connection?
Yeah,
right.
It's
and what is Ralavin's objective here? Like, and because this going back to a conversation that Luna and Ralavin had, right? Ralavin alluded to something important in one of those conversations, right? Do you remember?
You want to go, Hannah, or I mean, you could start with the victims, how they link.
Mm-hmm.
No, I got nothing there. I was just gonna say I started thinking about that and I quickly went to the back.
Each of the victims related to some form of crafting. One was the genius Gina, for example. Adrian Brody he's
Carpenter.
really good with crafting wood.
Jarl
We never got to
Brownsfist?
know.
He's a priest.
Was that the? Yeah, we never got to figure that out because of some people. So.
Kyra's not a crafter either.
No, but Kyra wasn't one of the victims.
I mean, she was a vampire.
Well, but
she wasn't
is
part of the
a vamp.
unmemorable.
Yeah.
No, we're talking just unmemorable.
Just the
there was like 3 of them.
unmemorables.
Right, and at least 2/3 of them are related to something crafting, building, something along the lines. We know Gina she seemed to be like a genius at a young age.
Rocket ship. There was a rocket ship in the cave.
Rocket ship.
He wants to create a rocket ship to
Take on the monarch?
yeah, no, but yes, but no, what if he wants to bring the monarch back?
So this is the part, I don't know if he misses his god. What's his god name? Lazira? God of darkness.
Yeah.
And
If
what
that
did the
ever-
monarch drive? A big fucking moon. What are moons? Dark.
Mic drop. We did it.
Oh, he just put it together.
it's just we really don't know, because like I was going from the perspective of like a Joker type villain, so it's
Again, this is
I know
important
there's
for
ultimately
this isn't going to be important for us for ultimately figuring out how to defeat Ralavan. Is what does he want? What is he after? Once we know that, we can have leverage.
So let's think. What do we know about Ralavan? Like,
he's a
just base level
champion
stuff.
of the thing, isn't he? The Selection Wars.
He's a chosen of the Selection War.
Okay.
He is a high vampire, for lack of a better term. I don't know what Tui might call it.
Mm-hmm.
He has capability of going between any assumingly that he's any people that he's turned.
He's very interested in you, Luna.
Luna's a half turned person, so he still can't like resuming control for
Didn't
Luna
he
just
like
yet.
want to marry you or something?
He's very interested in Luna. I have this item called the Gossiper's Diary, and one of them was revealed. I think it was like once or twice that Ralavan is very infatuated with Lunazra. But we know he has, either memory wiping or memory altering capabilities in some form.
Right.
Hey,
And he is a master manipulator.
what is? Can I ask real quick before you keep keep going? What's Luna's link to Lunazra, the goddess?
Just
It's just a name given to her from parents because
So-
Lunazra is the goddess that they most
religious
associate
family.
with.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they have
What
no
do we-
no
do we-
other affiliation with it.
Well, she was chosen from Lunazra, like selection war wise.
Because one of his other chosen is a priest who has a deep connection with whatever god. I'm not good with names.
Corme, I think, or in this in the
Yeah,
area
Corme.
Temple of Corme.
Korome. Yep.
So like
Yep.
Hmm.
Protection.
that's two for gods, a connection to gods, at least two for crafting, and one who has well, we're not counting Kyra, but
Warrior.
maybe this is
Nothing.
fair warrior or politician in some way. I feel like he's trying to create some sort of dark or like black mass, a covenant, a cult of something to generate power. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines.
Mm-hmm. It certainly seems viable.
Yeah, because like, I mean, that's one of the things we were talking about with Edenor and I were talking about, where gods sort of have a symbiotic relationship with the people that worship them, where the more they worship, the stronger the gods get. The stronger they get, the more they can give back power. And
He certainly could be. That's so true. He's so true. He certainly could be targeting like, gods that are either aligned with the monarch or not.
That's gonna be something to explore.
Yeah, like, cause we so he got a priest of Korome on his side, so maybe we can figure out how Korome is related to the other gods right now, because we know that there's this rift between the gods happening. I have a feeling it might have something to do with that, and the rocket might just have been like a means of getting to the red moon or something, where
Well, the rest of the gods don't, as far as I know, I don't know if they exist. They got absorbed. Or maybe that was the other reality. But
I don't know. Yeah,
what I want to
still
say
don't
is
fully
like
understand all that.
one of the things too is like, I think David's written here like who's paying, what form of payment. He's a part of an assassin's guild, or not necessarily just assassinations, but
Spies.
the people you pay to get stuff done, basically.
Yeah, Eyes of Vendola. You're talking about Vendola.
Yeah.
Do we know
So
if
knowing,
they?
let's think about that. He's an Assassin's Guild, right? What do assassins do?
Assassinate?
Garden?
Fall in love.
Play
They
Pathfinder.
guard. They do
Yeah,
all
they
of those
assassinate.
things.
Correct.
Okay.
We had initially thought. I mean, we thought this like months ago that he was working. That Kyra was the one funding the bills, but that kind of got thrown out the window. There's a possibility that maybe he's linked with the Conquering Host. Maybe they're paying to try and weaken this area in Ironwood as well.
Yeah, that's something I mentioned early on too. That Kyra and him seem to be working with them at the very least. At the very least, they weren't worried that what they were doing was going to make it easier for them to conquer.
Yeah.
What would be the form of payment?
I don't.
Is this someone interested in just?
I don't
Is-
think
and that's a good
Relevant
question because-
cares about money.
Yeah.
I would
Relevant
agree with
is
you there.
driven by power and chaos and darkness.
I think right now, power in this world is people.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about like community, but also hordes of people. Like the reason that the Conquering Host is so powerful is because they have armadas. The reason that like we're putting all this together is because there is like these overwhelming forces that we have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if he wants power, he has to build his own overwhelming force.
And that's what he's
And-
doing.
Yeah, through the thralls and through whatever else. I mean, he doesn't. I don't think he cares if the Conquering Host wins or not. If he can get control over the area by just letting chaos happen and then taking out the weak, collecting them, and building up. I don't know.
Fighting them. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. Like
we
with
ever
a
get-
villain like this, it really is tricky because chaos is a really intangible motivation.
Yeah, it's tricky. It like you said,
We have no idea if he's a Sentia or not, right?
relevant. I don't believe you have any idea. No, that has been confirmed one way or
He's
another.
from Azafast, yes?
Mhm.
The Eyes of Vendola
he's a-
are
I mean,
He's
Oh,
one
yeah,
of the
in
selected
Azabast?
champions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Luna, he's one of the selected champions. So, I'm glad that he's keeping you guys on your toes because he is a villain that is meant to, keep you guys guessing about what he might do next. So that's good. But I think there's some good theories going on, right? And the reason I kind of bring it up Relevant's plan stuff is because going into the next session, knowing what Relevant is up to is probably going to be pretty helpful.
But how can we do that when we're in the middle of a combat?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. One thing I do want to go to talk to you guys about is, this is again a little preview maybe for tomorrow. We had talked already as a group about using a stopwatch at the table,
Yeah.
right? For when moments call for it. If time is of the essence. So as we are getting into this and we know that, the bomb is at play, right? We'll probably be looking at, keeping a pretty high tempo for the combat from here on out.
That's fair.
Guys, you know what bombs have a lot of times?
Timers.
Timers. You know what that means? We're all gonna
Boom.
die.
So we're getting to the point where we are going to get very nitty gritty about these rounds and tracking time because it's
Honestly,
going to be
this
important
bomb
to know.
is like so mysterious and crazy because we kind of know what it is and what it does, but we really don't know like the mechanical effects and what it's going to look and feel like if and when it goes off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ugh.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
If it does go off, I'm gonna die. It'll be good. It'll be
If
great.
it does go off, we're all gonna die.
Possibly, we don't know.
Yeah.
Might have a
like,
chance to escape.
Who knows? Who knows? We're just gonna have to play and find out.
Yeah. Well, I think, how about we call it here for our discussion? And tomorrow morning, we'll play and find out.
Yay!
Play and find out.
Okay.
Uh,
Tell him when. Tell him when, David.
guys, we are going to be playing that session tomorrow at 10 Central, 11 Eastern, right here on Stealthy Elf Productions, session 48, Unholy Sanctuary, edition 4, installment 4. This has been
Oh my god, four-parter.
it's been a 4-parter. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done a 4-parter. I don't think we've ever done a
No.
2-parter.
Our last big encounter was a 3-parter.
Yeah,
The
the
tank in
the
the
Knolls,
savannah.
yeah. Colo is what they are now in 2. Yeah, the Colo and the Savannah. Yeah.
We've been in
That's a good
session 45 for 3 whole sessions. Damn.
I
Yeah.
smell a level up coming soon, maybe?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
We
We
don't
have to
die.
long rest for that.
I can't tell if that's level up I'm smelling or TPK, so we'll see what
It's
happens.
very similar. The line is very blurry.
Yeah.
We'll
7 hours,
find out.
30 minutes into the long rest. Jeffrey comes in. We see a bunch of airships coming from the south.
Oh my god. That would
That's
be
why.
the worst.
Okay. Well, guys, we're gonna call it here. Before we head out, let's just do a quick round of goodbyes. We'll start with Hannah.
Hello, I'm Hannah. I play Pavinian Echo, everyone's favorite charming gnome bard who likes to lie and deceive. And I truly, truly, truly won't be able to sleep tonight because I'm so excited to play tomorrow morning. Nigel.
Hell yeah.
Nigel playing Lunazra, and right after this call ends, I'm gonna eat and then try and go into the Bat Cave and figure out what the Joker is up to.
On it's a rocket
Next
ship.
couple of hours.
That's awesome. All right, Ollie.
Hey, if you like everything that I am and do, you can just see more of me on Blue Sky. I'm at Lycus D Stratus. You can see some of the stuff I draw for this game, and you can watch me exercise sometimes. I'd put that up there too because I don't know.
Sexy.
Oh yeah,
Sexy.
definitely.
Yeah. Guys.
Speaking of Blue Sky, we just created a Blue Sky account. Go follow us.
Oh yeah,
Stealthy
Blue
Elf.
Sky.
We are Stealthy Elf on Blue Sky.
Yeah. Yep. And guys, I was about to say I've been your GM. I am generally the GM of the Heroes of Histaeria campaign series. That's Sandsea Saga, Unearthed Inheritance, and New World Rebellion. Yeah, catch us here for all of those games. Check out Tales Archived, where I've just finished a run as Whistle in the Tales in the Known Realms Telesh campaign. And then you can also keep an eye there for some other upcoming projects just on the horizon. So, all right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shh.